Hello friends, this video on matter and magnetism part 27 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 26 before going ahead with part 27. Problems on solenoids and toroids. So the first problem comes here. It says that a solenoid of length 0.5 meters. So it is about a solenoid. Let us suppose I have this solenoid. So it says that a solenoid of length 0.5 meters and radius 1 centimeter, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters, is made up of 500 turns. That is, total number of turns is 500. So total number of turns we represent by capital N. It carries a current of 5 amperes. What is the magnitude of the magnetic field inside the solenoid? So magnetic field inside a solenoid is given by mu naught Ni, where N is the number of turns per unit length. So we can write this small n as total number of turns per unit length of the solenoid into I, right? So now this we can write it as mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7, capital N is 500, divided by L is 0.5, into current is 5 ampere. So this comes out to be 6.28 into 10 to the power minus 3 Tesla. So it comes out to be this much Tesla. So one more thing to be noted here is this formula which we are using here, that is B is equal to mu naught Ni, this is applicable for an infinite solenoid. That is a solenoid which is very long. Why did we apply this formula here? That's because in this case also, if you look at the data which is given here, the length of the solenoid is extremely large when compared to the radius of the solenoid. Since length is very large than the radius, that means it is a long solenoid. And if it is a long solenoid, then we can use this formula. Had it not been a long solenoid, in that case, the formula which we had derived before, right? If you look at your expression, or if you look at the magnetic field derivation of your solenoid, you see that the expression which you get is basically n mu naught I by 2 into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, right? So in that case, you will have to apply that formula if the solenoid is of finite length, right? But in this case, since it is of infinite length, so you can, and the criteria to check if it is infinite length or not is that the length of the solenoid should be very large when compared to the radius of the solenoid. Let us look at the next problem. A closely wound solenoid 80 centimeters long, that is length of the solenoid is 80 centimeters, that is 80 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters, which is 0.8 meters, has 5 layers of windings of 400 turns each. So 5 times 400 turns each. So what is the total number of turns? 5 into 400, that is 2000 turns. The diameter of the solenoid is 1.8 centimeters. So that means what is the radius of the solenoid? That is diameter by 2, which is 0.9 centimeters. That is equal to 0.009 meters. So if you compare the length and the radius, length is very large than radius. So we can consider this as a long solenoid. The current carried by the solenoid is 8 amperes. Find the magnitude of B inside the solenoid near its center. So the magnitude of B will be equal to mu naught Ni, that is equal to mu naught into capital N per unit length into I. So this will be 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 into 2000 divided by length is 0.8 into current is 8 amperes. So this comes out to be 2.512 into 10 to the power minus 2 Tesla. Let us look at the third problem. It says that a wire 3 centimeter long carrying a current of 10 amperes is placed inside a solenoid perpendicular to its axis. Let us suppose this is a solenoid which is the axis of the solenoid. This is the axis of the solenoid. So it says that a wire which is 3 centimeter long, somewhat like this, it is placed perpendicular to the axis of the solenoid. So this is perpendicular to axis. The magnetic field inside the solenoid is 0.27 Tesla. So magnetic field inside the solenoid is 0.27 Tesla, and the current which is flowing through this small wire is 10 amperes. That means the current through this wire is 10 amperes. So we have to calculate the magnetic force on the wire, right? So the current flowing through the wire is 10 amperes and the length of the wire is 0.03 meters, right? So the magnetic force experienced by the wire, would be IL cross B, where I is the current flowing through the wire, L is the length of the wire, and B is the magnetic field in which it is present. So what is the external magnetic field for this wire? For this wire, the solenoid is an external environment, right? So wire is placed in the magnetic field produced by the solenoid, right? So the magnetic field produced by the solenoid is the external magnetic field for this current carrying wire, right? So we are here concentrating on this small wire. So this will be ILB sin theta, where theta is the angle between the magnetic field and this wire, which is 90 degree as mentioned in the question, because this wire is perpendicular, right? So this is 90 degree, so this becomes ILB. Now what is I? I is 10 amperes, L is 0.03 and B is 0.27. So this comes out to be 8.1 into 10 to the power minus 2 Newton. So this is the magnitude of the magnetic force experienced by the wire. Now what about the direction of magnetic force? So what would be the direction of magnetic force? Now since in this question the direction of current which is flowing through the wire is not clearly mentioned, so I will tell you about all the possibilities. So this will be given by right hand rule and it will be determined by L cross B. That means you have to curl your fingers from L towards B, then your thumb will point in the direction of magnetic force. So there are various possibilities. So one possibility is, let us suppose that this is the wire and let us suppose that the current flows through the solenoid in this direction and the current in this wire is in the upward direction. So in this case, what will happen if current is flowing in this direction using right hand thumb rule? If current is in this direction, the direction of magnetic field would be downward. Now if magnetic field is downward and if current in this conductor is upward, in this case L cross B, if you do, what will you get? All your fingers will first point up, then it will go down. So your magnetic force would be in this direction. So this will be the direction of magnetic force. Now let us consider the next scenario where the current is flowing in this direction through this solenoid, because of which again your magnetic field will be in the downward direction, and this is the wire in which the current is flowing in the downward direction. So if current is flowing in the downward direction through this wire, in that case what will happen? You curl all your fingers downwards and then you go down. So your magnetic force will act along this direction. So you apply the rules and try it yourself. Again, consider the other scenario where let us suppose that the current through this solenoid is flowing in this direction. So if current is flowing in this direction, your magnetic field will be in the upward direction. And let us suppose this is your current carrying conductor where current is flowing in the upward direction. So if current is in the upward direction and your magnetic field is also in the upward direction, in that case your magnetic force will act along this direction. Similarly, the last scenario where current is flowing like this. So if current flows like this, your magnetic field will be in the downward direction. And if this is your conductor where current is flowing in the downward direction, in that case, your magnetic force would be in this direction. So these are the various possibilities. I just told all the possibilities so that you get used to with applying this right hand rules everywhere. So try all these 4 scenarios yourself. If you are able to get the correct direction of magnetic force, that means you have understood the right hand rule as well as right hand thumb rule properly. So let us go ahead and look at the 4th problem. It says that a toroid has a core non-ferromagnetic of inner radius 25 centimeters and outer radius 26 centimeters. So let us first draw the toroid. Let us suppose this is the toroid. The inner radius and the outer radius of the toroid are given. So this is the inner radius and this is the outer radius. So that is given here. Let us call this as R1 and let us call this as R2. If the current in the wire is 11 amperes, what is the magnetic field outside the toroid? So magnetic field outside the toroid is always 0. Inside the core of the toroid. So inside the core of the toroid, magnetic field is always equal to mu naught into N into I, where N is the number of turns per unit length. Right? So what would be N? N is nothing but total number of turns per unit length into I. So what would be length? Length is nothing but the circumference of the circle, right? But here the length would mean the circumference of the circle which is midway between this R1 and R2. That is, this is R1, this is R2. So this is R1, this is R2. So I want to calculate the number of turns for a wire which is midway between these two. So this I can say 2 pi into R1 plus R2 divided by 2. This into I. So this gives mu naught Ni divided by pi R1 plus R2. So mu naught is nothing but 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. N is the total number of turns, that is 3500. I is the current which is 11 amperes divided by pi into R1 plus R2, that is 0.25 plus 0.26. So this comes out to be 3 into 10 to the power minus 2 Tesla. So this is the value of magnetic field inside the core of the toroid. And in the empty space surrounded by the toroid, obviously there also the magnetic field is 0. So I hope that the topic on solenoid and toroids are now clear to you. Okay. So now it is time that we start a fresh topic. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.